Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel where I will be crocheting it forward in this video by showing you my Forky tablet cover. This is the front of the tablet cover and this is the second one. It's got a pocket here for you to put your earbuds. Fits perfectly. You can get super creative with this pattern as far as colors, as far as the decorations. Here's one I did in purple with pom-poms and then a bigger button and a bigger pocket. Here's another one where I did two pockets, and that would be perfect for your earbuds in the top and then your charger on the bottom, so it's always with you wherever you go. Okay, and then this one I just did one long pocket where you can put them all like this. I'll put the charger in first because that's heavier. Take it apart and you'll never have those missing. You shouldn't. There you go. Now you'll have to measure your tablets across. I know they come in different sizes. So yeah, this has some little fluffiness there, some yarn I got on sale, and then this one just has a picot, and then I just didn't do one on this one. So it's totally up to you. Like I said, you can get so creative. So let's move forward and I'll show you the materials you're going to need. Alright, so the materials you're going to need are some scissors, a sewing needle, maybe some stitch markers. I think I was using yarn in the video. You'll need four main colors for Forky, and that is white, turquoise, red. Now this is worsted weight red heart, but I did get a number 3 yarn for the pupil part of his eyes, but I'm sure you could work it out with black. You'll need some stick pins, scissors, and 2 crochet hooks. I always do my foundation chain in a half size bigger, and this is 5.0H hook, and then the pattern itself is in a 4.5. Now if you're going to use these eyes, you're going to need your glue gun, and it wouldn't hurt to have a picture of Forky available so that you can use him as a guide when you put his face together. Alright, so the main color is going to be the color that you choose for your tablet cover. I'm going to do purple, and this is going to differ in terms of chain count, so I'm not going to put that in the comments. As long as you follow the pattern. I mean, I know some tablets, like this tablet is my granddaughter's and it's a lot smaller than my tab. Well, it's maybe an inch or two smaller than my tablets are. But basically what you're going to do is grab your main color and your larger hook. It's a half size larger than the 4.5, which is a 5.0, and then loosely chain across 2, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, and just keep measuring. 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. As long as you have it from one end to the other, 15, 16, 17, 18, I'm thinking that that's going to be good enough. And again, we're just measuring from one end of the tablet to the other. We are going to do increases on the first round. So again, that didn't really matter as far as the chain count. So now what we want to do is grab our 4.5 hook and then work in the back bump. If you turn your chain upside down, you'll clearly see ridges here. Ridges or back bumps, and then we're just going to chain all the way to the beginning. So it does not matter if you're in an odd number or an even number, as long as the chain fits across your tablet, because we are going to be working this pattern from the bottom up. So go ahead and make a single crochet all the way to your beginning chain in the back bump or ridge only. Alright, so once you have reached your last single crochet in the back ridge, In that same stitch, we're going to make 2 more single crochets. And then this kind of puts your work upside down, and I'm going to work in my tail as I go. What we're going to do is make a single crochet all the way back over here to where you started your single crochets. So again, there's that first one, and we're just going to keep going all the way down, make a single crochet. You can see the stitches, they're in the chain all the way down here. All right, so we are at our first single crochet, and in that same stitch we're going to make 2 more. So your ends will have 3 single crochets. So we have 1, and that was already there, and then we just did 2. Now after you do this, I'm not going to use a stitch marker. You're more than welcome to use stitch markers or anything like that. I just find it easier to use a piece of yarn, because we're not going to slip to join. We're just going to do a continuous pattern. So we've already single crochet there, and this pattern is a half double crochet, and now you want to start your half double crochets. Sorry about that, I got some hair there. So then we're just going to make 1 half double crochet all the way around. Now you can get creative with this if you want and do half double crochets in the back loop. That's totally up to you. But again, we're just going to do 1 half double crochet all the way around. When you get to these 3, just put 1 in each one, go all the back all around, I'm sorry. And then when you get to the other end with the 3 single crochets, make just 1 half double crochet, and I will meet you back here where our straggler is. Alright, so I'm back to the beginning where my marker is here, and I'm just going to go ahead and take that out and half double crochet. Now we are going to be turning our work. Okay, so we're going to turn our work. I just made that one, so I'm going to go ahead and put my stitch marker in. We're going to turn our work every time after our after we finish a round, and then go back around and make 1 half double crochet all the way around. Now you'll see that your ends are going to start curling up, which is completely normal. They're going to start turning up like that as you move forward with making this cover. So after you've worked up a couple rounds, you can definitely try it on your tablet at the bottom to be sure it's going to be long and wide enough. Once you have the rows that you need to cover up your tablet, and you can fit that as you go, you want to do 1 round of single crochet, just so that we have, you know, a nice finish up on top. So we're just going to go ahead and do 1 round of just single crochet, and I will meet you back here. Alright, once you finish your single crochet border, you just want to slip to join to that first stitch, and then the next thing we want to do is our pocket. But a couple side notes I just want to mention, like throughout the while you're making this this tablet cover, just be sure you're counting your stitches every once in a while as you go, as you move, as your project grows. It's important. You don't want to end up with, like, you know, some extra stitches. So the pocket again is going to be optional. Like I said, it's going to depend on the yarn you use. You know, the count is going to be different. I just kind of knew how long I wanted it. So I like chain 14. I'm not sure if 14 is going to work for this. Alright, so you want to grab your bigger hook and chain however long you want your pocket to be. And you want it to be an even number, because eventually it's going to be an odd number because we skipped that first stitch. And that's what we want, an odd number, and that'll come into play later. So I have 18 here, and I'm going to turn my chain and then start working in the back ridge or bump all the way across, but I still have my 5.0 hook. Remember, we're only using that larger hook for our foundation chain. And then we're just going to go all the way back to our first chain. I'm going to have a total of 17. You might have a different count. That's fine. Again, you know, it's just depending on the yarn that you use. Now, both of these are red heart that I'm using. This is the purple and this is the mint, but the textures are different. Mint is a lot thinner than the purple, and I know I've mentioned in some of my videos that with some of red heart colors, they are thicker, like the red, the purple, and the black. I've noticed right off the back they are for some reason thicker. So I will meet you back. So I just finished my single crochets. I'm going to go into my last stitch here, and we're going to work our sides where we pull up our loop, turn our work, and then and then make half double crochets, however count that you ended up with, all the way across for as big as you want your pocket. Now I have here, let's see, 9 rows. So I will meet you back. That's how you're going to do half double crochets all the way working up for 9 rows. Once you have finished your 9th row of half double crochets, we're going to turn our work, and because I have 17, I'm going to minus 1. That will give me an even number of 16. So I'm going to half double crochet to my 8th stitch, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And in my 9th stitch, I'm going to make 3, let me see, 3 half double crochets. So that's 1, 2, 3. And then I'm just going to finish this row with half double crochet. Alright, so I finished the last 8 half double crochets and I fastened off, and you see what that does is give you a little point like a pocket. We're actually going to put our pocket like this. Now you can put the pocket down here, you can put it in the middle, doesn't matter. You have to fasten off, and we're going to have to grab our buttons and see where we're going to grab them, put them, and then we're going to do our, first we're going to do our loops, our little loops that are going to go around the buttons. The next thing I'm going to do after I've picked my button out, and I'm going to make this pattern a little different just to show you how versatile this pattern is. Right here I did 2 buttons, one for the tablet itself and then the other one for the pocket, you know, for the earbuds. I'm just going to do 1 this time and then just make 1 loop. It's totally up to you if you want to do 2, if you want to add some more pockets, that's up to you too. What I would do is count from the inside and make sure that you have your button even. You don't want it off over here or over there, or you just want it as centered as possible. I've sewn in my button, and now I want to sew my pocket on. So I've threaded my needle, and I'm just going to show you real quick how to start. I'm not going to show you how to sew it because I'm sure everyone already knows how to sew. And you just, I have my tablet in here, so I'm not sewing across and onto the back side. And we're just going to attach in the corner, and I always attach with the knot. I've already sewn in my ends, as you can tell. And then from here, I'm just going to go ahead and take stitches closest to the pocket underneath on the tablet cover and match it with my pocket. and then just generally so. Now you can make these pockets any color you want. You can make it in variegated. You can have fun with it, you know, give it a little pizzazz. It's totally up to you. But yeah, this is how I'm sewing mine. Got this hair everywhere. So I'm going to go ahead and sew all the way down here, put a couple stitches down here in the point, and come back and cut off, and then we'll come back and do the little loop to our button. The next thing we want to do is turn our work around, and we are going to count from your ends and go to the middle to your center stitch, and then we're going to go ahead and slip stitch. Now I still have my tablet in it, so I want to be sure I'm going to be able to cover this part, because if it's closed, you're not really counting the measurements of the tablet. Let me see if I'm getting in here. Okay, so now I'm going to yarn over and attach, and all we're going to do is chain. I think I'm going to chain 10 just to start. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Now what you want to do is pull it down here. Clearly I'm probably going to need 20. 10, oops, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, and here I just did a little scrap piece of yarn, and I'm going to see if that's going to be enough, and it looks like it is. Whoa, luck is on my side today. Alright, so I've worked in those tails, and I got my tablet in here, and this stretches, so it goes around there. I just want to show you, it is big enough to hold some earbuds, even with the earbuds in. Okay, so now we're done with our tablet cover. Now we have to turn around and get our Forky together, or Forky face. So grab your white yarn and I will meet you back. Alright, moving to our Forky pattern. We want to chain 8 with our number 5 hook and our white yarn. Now we're going to switch to our 4.5 hook, and we are going to single crochet to your first chain in the back bump or ridge only. Alright, once you have finished your single crochets, you should have 7, and now we're just going to pull up our loop and insert it from the outside, and then we're going to half double crochet 7 for 9 rows. So this is 1, 2, 3, nope, actually we are going to single crochet this, not half double crochet, my apologies. So we are going to single crochet. Our Forky is done in single crochet, not half double crochet. 7 single crochets all the way across for a total of 9 rows. And then just don't forget to turn this sideways so you can get those 2 loops on the end, and then pull up our loop, go that way, and then work up 9 more rows, and I will meet you back. After you have single crocheted 9 rows, we're going to turn our work, and we're going to do increases on the ends only, which means 2 single crochets in your first stitch and 2 single crochets in your last stitch. I find that if you have your loop a little loose, it's going to be that much easier to get into it the next row. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Okay, so we did have 7. we increased on the end, so that added 2, and it's going to add 2 for each row. We're going to do this until we get to 19 single crochets or a total of 8 rows. And again, that very first stitch right here, again, I have this loop kind of loose, is going to be 2 single crochets. Then you go in your next stitch and make a single crochet all the way down here, 1 single crochet in each stitch till you get to your end and increase. Okay, my apologies, you are actually only going to crochet increases for 6 rows, or until you get to 19 stitches. At least that's what I got, not 9 rows. Now what we're going to do, we have 19 single crochets. Okay, now what we're going to do is 9 rows of 19 single crochets. So this is my last increase. I just did 19, my 19th stitch. So I'm going to go back into that same stitch and then just single crochet all the way across, 19 single crochets for a total of, let's see, 8 more rows. So we need 8 rows of single crochet. So after completing your 9 more rows of single crochet for a total of 10 rows of 19 single crochets, the next row we're going to do 1 decrease on the ends. Okay, and then, you know, the decrease is just taking 2 together and going through for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, and our last decrease, 2 together for a total of 17 single crochets. And then we want to do 26, 27, 28, 3 more rows, and I might be off on that row count. 3 more rows of 17 single crochets. Go ahead and do that, and I will meet you back. After you finished your 3 rows of 17 single crochets, we're going to do a decrease in the middle of this row. So we know there's 17 minus 1 is 16. We divide that in half by 2, and that gives us 8. So we know we need to go in the 9th stitch for the middle stitch. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and in your 9th stitch we're going to do 2 together for a decrease. And then we're going to go on 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. Okay, so we needed 16 because Forky's point, I don't know what you want to call them, pokes, points, there's 4 of them here, so we need to have those evenly distributed, and then if we have 4 times 4 is 16, so that's what we're going to do. So for his pokes, or his, I don't know what we want to call them, the pokes, the points, we're going to make 4 single crochets. This is for each one. I'll show you the first one. 2, 3, 4. We're going to turn our work, and then we're going to single crochet 3, 1, 2, and in the last 2 we're going to decrease. So there's a total of 3 single crochets for that row. We're going to turn our work again, make 1 single crochet, and then 2 single crochets for that last stitch. What we're doing is decreasing our last stitch. So we have 2, okay, and then until we have 1. This last row, we're just going to put them both together. That gives us 1, chain 1, fasten off. So that's our first point. So now we're going to repeat this 3 more times. Remember, you have to chain single crochet, you have to single crochet 4 first, turn your work, and then for the next 3 rows, decrease in the last stitch until you have 1. Once you've made your pokes, your work should be looking a little like this. The next thing we're going to do is, oh, my light is messing up. The mouth. The mouth is super easy. It's just 31 chains, and you want to be sure that it's straight. And then slip to join in your first chain. You do want to leave a long enough tail to sew. And what I like to do is go around twice your project twice, and that is generally enough to sew securely. The next thing we're going to do is Forky's mouth, and that is going to be a chain of 17, and then we're going to single crochet in the back loop only, or back ridge, all the way to your first chain. So that will give you 16 single crochets, and then we're just going to do the same thing, go around our project maybe a little over twice, just a little bit, and that's again generally enough, I find, to sew your project on. Alright, moving on to the eyes. We're going to make the left eye, which is the bigger eye, first. Grab our white yarn, do a magic circle, however you do, chain up 2, and we're going to make 12 double crochets. Two, 3, 4, 5. Close the circle up as you go. 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Close the circle up completely. Slip stitch to the top of your first double crochet. Chain 1 and leave enough room for sewing. That's your left eye, and then moving right into our right eye for Forky. After I get this knot out here. Okay, magic circle again, however you do it. There's no right or wrong way, it's whatever you're comfortable with. And for the right eye is smaller, so we're going to chain 2 and make 12 half double crochets. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Again, closing your circle as you go. 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Okay, we're going to slip stitch to the top of the first half double crochet and chain 1, and then also leave enough room for sewing. So just like the white part of the eye, we're going to go ahead and make a magic circle. And I do want to mention this black that I'm using is a size smaller. This is a worsted weight 3. So you might have to play with it if you don't have black yarn that's a worsted weight 3. Maybe make it smaller. Here in a minute I'll show you the different options that you can use for Forky's eyes. So we're going to go ahead and do our magic circle. Chain 2 and then make 12 double crochets, just like we did the white circle. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. And also work in your circle, close your circle as you go. It's kind of hard to see because it's black, but slip stitch to the top of your first double crochet, chain 1, fasten off, leave enough room for sewing, and then for your left eye pupil, we're going to do the same thing. The only difference is the stitches. The stitch count is the same for each eye, it's just the stitches. So I've done a magic circle and I've chained 1, and for this one we're only going to make 12 single crochets. It's a smaller eye, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Close our circle shut, single or slip stitch to the top of our first single crochet, chain 1, leave enough tail for sewing, and go ahead and sew in all your ends for all your pieces, and we'll bring the Forky face together when I return. Okay, so we have our Forky face features, and you just need to, I have the tails here, I've sewn in the ends, but I have the tails. You just need to go ahead, I have it pinned on, all my pieces pinned on, and just go ahead and sew them in. I'm not going to do that on camera because everybody knows how to sew. I do want to take the time to show you this in case somebody wants to freeze the frame right there for a second, and just, you know, try to point out, you know, the characteristics, like there's a little slant on the red eyebrow, and then his smile is kind of crooked, so you just want to get to have your Forky get to resemble as much a Forky as possible. So I'm going to go ahead and sew in my ends. Now we are going to sew our Forky on. So as you see, I have stick pins, and I just want to tell you that it's okay to use the white even though your tablet is a different color, as long as when you sew this on, when you're attaching to stitches on your tablet, be sure it's under your applique, and then that will definitely hide it, and it won't be all gawky, and you won't have these long stitches. For example, I want to show you that. Maybe that helps with the light a little bit, but you see I went under and sewed all the way around here. So go ahead and do that. Like I said, I have some stick pins in here just to keep stuff straight. There's the other side, there's the button, there's my tablet in there, and then I sew with my tablet on inside the tablet holder because it ensures that I'm not sewing the back part with the front. So I'm going to go ahead and finish that, and quickly, I just want to tell you two other options that you can have for the eyes if you don't want to do the white part and the black part. You can always take your glue gun and get these movable plastic eyes. That's an option. Or you can just do just the black part of the eyes. But I wanted to show you what those look like, and as other options if you didn't want to do the two-piece eye portion on your Forky. I also want to add that you can do a border on this tablet cover of any choice that you want. I got this discounted yarn at Hobby Lobby. It's by Yarn Bee. It's normally $3.99. I got it on sale for 99 cents. And it's Snuggle Up Persimmon. And it's lot number 26210. But it's like a feathery kind of yarn. And I'm just going to go ahead and make a slip knot. And just show you how you can add this. I'm going to start where the button is and just do single crochets. This tablet cover is for one of my granddaughters, so I know she's gonna like this. But yeah, it works really well. I'm just going to do a single crochet all the way around the top. Okay, real quick, I want to show you how to make a pom-pom border. And that's going to just attach our yarn here with the slip. And then go back in and single crochet 1, single crochet 2, single crochet 3. Then we're going to chain 3, 1, 2, 3, and then make our yarn a little, hold on, we're going to make that third chain a little loose. Okay, then we're going to yarn over, and in that second chain from your hook, you're going to pull up a loop once. Wait a minute, let's try that again. One, two, three, and then pull up our loop, yarn over and go through that second chain once, make them loose, don't finish, 2, 3, for a total of 1, let me see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 loops on your hook, yarn over, go through all of them, wiggle your crochet hook if you need to, turn it around, and in this space right here where my nail is, we're going to make a slip stitch, and then single crochet in that, or slip stitch in that same stitch. Now you have a little ball. I'll do that again for you. 3 single crochets, 1, 2, 3. Then we're going to make 3 chains, 1, 2, 3, and then make that last loop a little loose, yarn over, go through that second chain from your hook, pull up a loop once, yarn over, go into that same chain, pull up a loop twice, yarn over, go into that same chain, and pull up a loop 3 times. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, maybe there's 7. 1, 5, 6, 7. Maybe I miscounted on the other one. 6 or 7 loops. Yarn over, go through all of them, turn your ball around, and in that space at the bottom of your ball, we're just going to make a slip stitch to secure the pom-pom or the ball. Come back here to your single crochet and slip stitch to secure it. The last border I want to show you really quick, which in my opinion is perfect for a boy, is just a picot stitch. What we're going to do is just attach with the slip stitch, and then go back in that same stitch and single crochet. And then I like to do my picots in every 3rd stitch, and that is just chaining 1, 2, 3, and then slip stitching in that same stitch. Again, a chain 3 single crochets in a row, and then chain 3, and then slip stitch in that same stitch, and then make your 3 single crochets all the way around. So that's an easy picot stitch for a boy, or you can just leave it as is, like I'm doing with this one. And probably because I got too close up here with the pokes, but that's okay. And then I have 2 pockets on this one for the earbuds and then one for your charger. So that's totally up to you. And I wanted to show you this one too, where you can make 1 big pocket. Let me see if I can pull that out so you can see that 1 big pocket here. And then because it was a bigger pocket, I did a foundation row for my loop, my button loop, and that is just your usual chain and then single crocheting back to the first chain in that back bump. So there you have it. This is my Forky pattern. Just to clarify, on the pom-poms, it's actually the 3rd chain from your hook that you go in and then pull up loops, not your 2nd. You'll find that that is a lot easier than the 2nd chain. And then on this one I went back and did 4 chains instead of 3 because you could barely see the picot. So yeah, just wanted to share that with you. My disclosure statement real quick. I am not a professional videographer. I do not have a professional camera. I record from my tablet. I welcome constructive comments, as I am a whip in videology. Cruel and vicious comments will not be tolerated. My apologies if I was confusing. Please check the info box for further clarification or info. I appreciate everybody's patience. And together, let's continue to crochet it forward. Bye now.